Well guys, the new year is here. Should you buy the current model year, the 2024 Wrangler, or hold off for a 2025? We're going to talk about some differences I think we might see between the two and just decide overall which one is right for you. I'm going to reference back to the JK. So we want to talk about what happened with the JK when that refresh happened and kind of compare it to what I think is going to happen with the JL Wrangler. Now, if you guys aren't Jeep Wrangler JK aficionados, you might not be aware that in 2011, Jeep did a refresh to that Wrangler as well. It was 4 years into production and they did a small refresh. They completely updated the interior of the JK. So they went from the gray with the very rudimentary blockish style dash to more curves, more subtle on the inside, changed the radio out in the 2011 year, also changed out the color from gray to black, and with that they gave it a lot more on the inside. They didn't really change anything under the hood, under the drivetrain, anything like that, but they did completely upgrade the interior. Now fast forward the next year to 2012, that was kind of one of the biggest selling Jeeps because they upgraded a lot more. They had already gone with that updated interior, but then they replaced the 3.8 liter with the 3.6 liter Pentastar. That was probably the biggest upgrade that they could have done to the Jeep Wrangler because the 3.8s, they were just known for issues. They would leak oil, they didn't make much power. Honestly, it was just not too good of a V6. But when they upgraded to the 3.6 liter, they got a lot of benefits out of it. Then go forward 1 year to 2013 and they added even more. They changed up the seats again to make them a little bit thinner and also a little bit more modern looking. And then they also added on the 10th anniversary Rubicon, which of course came with the power dome and the scoop hood. Now, I don't want to ramble onto a tangent about the JK, but what I think is happening is that the Jeep brand is doing the same with the JL. 2023, we didn't see a ton of upgrades, and then in 2024, which we're at now, the current model year, saw the whole interior upgraded, the grille was upgraded, the antenna, airbags, everything was kind of upgraded nice and subtly. However, the engines haven't really changed. The only thing that did change was the removal of the 3-liter turbo diesel, but the 392's there, 2-liter turbo, 4xe, and the 3.6 liter. So we still have all of the same things. Now in 2025, this coming year, what I'm almost looking at is what Jeep did from 2011 to 2012. So they upgraded the interior first, and then they changed the engines. So from 24 to 25, are we going to see some different engine options? I know already they've been kind of making some hints behind the scenes about doing a new 4xe, adding a Gladiator 4xe, and a little bit of this and that. So are we going to see a new engine option? That's kind of something I've been foreshadowing because of a lot of hints that Jeep has given us. Even in Ryan's base two-door, below all of the kind of the tactile knobs for the headlights and ambient lighting, there's the gap there for the 4xe buttons. So it's already there. It's just in a Easter egg that has a little Jeep and a Gladiator, but it's already sitting there waiting almost for what a new engine or something that would need to use those buttons would be for. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about for the 2024 was some of the pros and cons of picking one of those up. One of the biggest pros right now for buying a 2024 is if you like one of the oddball colors that they have in a 2024, if you're looking at like the bikini pearl or even the anvil color that might not be around forever, this is a good opportunity to get a hold of one of those. I've watched Jeep for a long time, and when they put a kind of cool color in, they seem to pull it away quicker than you can even get a hold of it. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to come out with other cool colors. It just means if you really like one that's out right now, it might be beneficial for you to pick one up. So for the 2024, the biggest pro is probably the color choices and the availability. Plus, the biggest thing too is there's not any price increases yet. So from the 24 to 25, we can almost guarantee that there will be price increases, and that's just throughout the industry. I don't know how much they can go any higher because people seem to be kind of stacking these things up at dealership lots right now. But going from the 24 to 25, we will see a price increase. It's just how much is it going to be? But if you're looking to pick up a 24, you can buy them right now. You can order it through our dealership affiliate program with Dan Cummins, and you can get the color that you want. Some big pros. Now let's go into the cons. Some of the cons of the 2024 is we don't know what those new colors are going to be. There could be a really cool color, like we've seen Jeep teasing these new pink colors, these new harbor blues, all these colors that we haven't seen yet. Those could come out in the 2025 model year. And if you like one of those a little bit more, it's kind of a guessing game to see if you're gonna have one of those on the lot or you'll be able to order one. Another con for the 2024 is we don't know if there's any new engine options. Jeep has been consistently playing around with that Hurricane twin turbo. They've been playing around with some other 4xe technology, and we don't know what's gonna come out. But those are risks that I'm normally willing to take because The 2024 has already been updated in the interior, so that's probably what the max we're going to see on the 2025. We're not going to see too much crazier than that. Now, if you look at the 2025 Wrangler, we're not 100% positive as far as all the features that it's going to offer, but we do know a couple things just based upon our previous research, previous videos, and all of our experience, is that it's probably going to be released around the March-April timeframe as far as the order banks go. So we're going to see a reveal, maybe a really downplayed reveal because sometimes Jeep decides to do that, but then you're only going to be able to order it around that time as well. So when I ordered my Jeep, I believe I actually ordered that in April or May. It was right before the 2023s came out, and as soon as those did, you could place the order, but you weren't getting them for a few months. So I would say if you're going to place an order for a 2025, it's going to happen around maybe March, April, or even pushing into May, but you're not going to see them for a few months afterwards. So in order for you to get a hold of one of those, you're going to have to wait from the time right now to about July or August of this year to actually start seeing them on lots and get those first deliveries made. And that is without any problems too. So we had a strike last year, and really that timeline is subject to change. We've seen a lot of differences on there, and we haven't really been able to completely dial it in, but barring that there aren't any major problems, that is exactly when I would expect to see it. Now there is a pro to that because you can kind of plan what you want to do to your Jeep. You can plan on some new parts, see if there's new engines or new colors that come out, and you're not really getting too crazy of a difference. But there is a pretty hard cutoff. That's the one thing I do want to tell you guys. A lot of people reference the Jeep website when they're looking at two different model years. So say you're looking at a 23 versus a 24, and you're wondering, I can still build both of these on the website. Why can't I call the dealership and order either of them? Well, it's because they leave the 23 or the previous model year up on the website to be built, so you can locate one at a local dealership. As soon as the 25s come out, the 24 order banks will close. So if you liked what was going on with the 24s, you liked a certain color, it's almost too late. You couldn't order it anymore, and only the 25s are available now. But that kind of brings it down to the timeline there, is that they are producing the 2024s right now. If you were to place an order, they're coming in about, what does Lindsay say, 2 to 3 months, Ryan? Besides yours, which comes in 5 weeks. Now, I have other Jeeps that I've had on order, and they've taken longer, a lot longer. 25s, we're gonna have to wait and see what they come out with, but there is a risk also of them removing engine options. So you never know, the 3.6 could go the 2-liter turbo at any moment, and they could go all electric or all 4xe. That would really...
Wow, especially the 392.
If that goes, yeah, now you don't have the chance to order one exactly the way you want it. You kind of have to pick and choose what's already on a lot, which might not be as advantageous when it comes to the ordering deals. I know with our dealership affiliate partner, we're able to get some crazy good deals for you guys with the orders, and then even when they come in, some on the lot, they can still work out a good deal for you. But a lot of dealers, if they have something rare on the lot, they're either marking it up or they know exactly what they have and they're charging MSRP. So kind of a bit of a play there, but you got to figure out if you want a 24 or a 25. One thing I do want to hear from you guys in the comments, if this is you, if I'm speaking directly to you in your boat, let me know what you're deciding. If you're debating a 24 or a 25, kind of let me know your thinking strategy or thinking process on that, and what's holding you back or making you jump forward to a 2025. Or even if you're not going to buy a Jeep and you're just going to keep your old one, let me know. I mean, I know we always read about the pricing, it's gone through the roof, it's astronomical. I agree with you guys, but just let me know what your thought process is versus keeping your old Jeep, getting one, or if you're debating a 24 and a 25. Drop that down below in the comments. On today's viewer rig of the video, we are checking out Peach's JK. Now, that's a 2008 JK that he said he started from a $3,700 beater to a dependable, fun rig. It's got a 10th anniversary front bumper, Warren winch, factor 55 hook, a Terraflex 2.5-inch lift, the new Method bead grip wheels, and some 35-inch KM3 BF Goodrich tires. ARB diff covers, hitch sliders, Armor-Lite floors, Pioneer touchscreen, a lot of audio on there too. And this one really hits home because I had a two-door white JK, and he's even got the military trailer that matches one like I had. It's a great looking Jeep, and it just shows what you can do with some money and a little bit of time. I mean, he doesn't have a ton into this thing, but it's a $3,700 JK. That's a pretty good deal. Throw some cash into it and make it a fun rig for the weekends. So Peach, thank you so much for submitting this, and I hope you guys enjoyed checking this two-door JK out. It's a great looking Jeep and something that we like to see on the channel. If you guys want to have a chance at your rig being featured, be sure to hit us up through Instagram or send us an email. Now, as we close this video out, I hope it gave you some more insight onto a 24 versus a 25 Wrangler. We always like to start the year out with this just because it's a very big question, and a lot of our viewers do ask that. But the other thing I wanted to let you guys know is if you're curious about what a 2024 build looks like, definitely check out our series on our channel. Now, if you've already done so, thank you so much. But if you haven't, it's a great way to decide if you want to look at building a 24 or maybe holding off a little bit. There's a lot of little quirky new features in the 24 and some things that you have to overcome when building them, but we've kind of worked all those out, and and most of the manufacturers that we partner with have as well. Drop a comment down below on what you want to see, and from Matt and Ryan here at Dirt Road Cred, get out there and earn yours.